Alright, welcome back. So now you know how to access the images that are given in this course so that you can edit along with me for practical learning. Now let's get started with Lightroom. What we'll be doing initially in this section is that we'll just be looking at the basic structure of Lightroom, and we'll be just looking at some basic things like importing our photos from our folder or our drives into Lightroom, into the library of Lightroom, and then we'll begin the process of editing these images. So I call this like a warm-up section, because what we'll be initially just doing right now in order just to get you comfortable with Lightroom is that we have a certain set of images. Like we've got landscape images, we've got some wildlife images, we've got some portrait and event images, and we're just going to see the different functions inside Lightroom, the very basic functions that we can use in order to enhance these different category of images. So this is just to completely get you comfortable with Lightroom, and you'll often find a lot of functions being used in most of these edits. So I've decided to put this section and have this section in a very random manner because that's the best way to learn Lightroom, to teach you in a way that I would exactly use to edit an image right from start. So we'll just be doing some very basic edits right now, and then later on in this course in the different sections we'll also be seeing a lot of advanced functions where we'll absolutely zero in on a particular function and use a image in accordance with that. But let's get started with the warm-up edits with these images. So let's go inside Lightroom and let's see how to start. Alright, so this is how Lightroom looks, and what we'll do in this course is we're just going to stick to the windows or the panels that are really important for us. Not everything is too important, so it's pretty straightforward how things work. This is how Lightroom will mostly look when you open it, and a lot of times we'll be going on these menus here for different things. We'll see as and when things come, but to start off you just need to know one thing, which is about these panels here, out of which only two are important. So one is will already be selected, like you can see here, which is the library. And library just means this place where you'll be putting your photos. So it's called import, so where you will be importing your photos, and we're just going to see that right now in some moments. So this is where you get your photos from, wherever folders or the drives that you have it in your computer. You can just put it inside Lightroom. So you can think of this like storage for Lightroom, and then all the action takes place in this next panel. So once you import the photos, you select a photo and you start to develop it. So when you click on develop, you'll find this panel here where you see these sliders. Right now it's disabled because of course we don't have a photograph here, but this is where majority of the editing work will take place. Now Lightroom has all these features where cool features like map, where you can tag where the photo was taken, so you kind of keep a track of where all you went to take your shots. You can create a book out of it, you can create a slideshow out of it, you can just use it for printing purpose, you can use it for sharing directly from Lightroom or to the web and all. So all these are extra features which we really don't want to concentrate too much on right now. Our main job is to learn editing, so it's pretty easy. You import the photos into the library and then you start developing them. So for example, in the initial section, when we're just starting off learning editing, we'll be working with around 4 or 5 images. So what I do is I just go to file, I go to import photos and videos, and of course we have put these images for you. So each video, like whatever video I'm working with, I've already told you this before, you can just get your hands on the image that is along with the video. You know how to do that. So this is something that you'll be doing often, importing the photos. So let's say these are some of the initial photos that I'll be working with, just in order to understand the basics in Lightroom. So I've just gone to the folder where all these images are, and then either you can select all these images and import them together. In that case, I can just leave it like this and click on import. But let's say sometimes you don't want to import all the images, so I can just click on uncheck all, and then let's say check only one image that I want to import and edit. So in this case, I want all the images to be imported. So let's say I click on check all and I just click on import. The moment I do that, these images will come in the library here. And then what you can do is just select whichever one you want to edit. So we'll actually be starting our editing with this image here, which is this very underexposed looking image. And you can also increase the size of these thumbnails even when you're importing. You could have done that. There's this slider here so that you can come to know if you have to only import certain photographs, you can get a bigger view of the photos also. So I only want to import this right now because this is the photograph of this tractor against this background, like this one. This is what we'll be starting off our journey with. So in order to start working with this image, all I have to do is just click on it, make sure this is highlighted, and then just go over to this, just click on this develop tab or the panel, and you will see that this comes inside this section where all these functions of editing are present, and this is how we'll start the editing process for any image. So in the next video onwards, we're going to go through this panel, which is very, very important, of course, because this is where 90% of your stuff will take place. So this is the editing panel. And just before we start with this image in the next video, I just want to tell you that there are a lot of ways to teach editing in Lightroom, and a lot of courses, they prefer to go one by one. They'll go through these sliders and they'll have images only for certain sections and they keep moving down. I decided against that because I want to teach you this in a very practical way. And the practical way is that whenever you're editing an image, it's a very unlikely scenario that you'll just be using 3 or 4 sliders in the start and not using anything that is down below. So the approach that I've taken is that I have around 5 or 6 images that we'll be editing right now to see these basics, and I'll not necessarily be following the order in which these tools are there. We're just going to keep on doing things on a random basis. So I might start off with some tool here, I might start off with some tool here, but the point is that we'll be covering most of the important functions in these initial videos so that you'll just get an idea on how to use them. It really won't affect or hamper your learning process if we don't follow a particular order. You will realize that once we have edited all the 5-6 images, you'll just understand which are the main basic functions here, and we would have used them again and again, so you'll get a better idea. So it's going to be slightly random, but it's going to be a much more practical way of understanding things. So I'm going to see you in the next video where we will improve this image in a drastic way. That's what you're about to find out. So I'll see you there. Bye for now.